Hello, everyone. I'm Trent Luce. Welcome to another live across the pond with my pontification partner, Andrew Henderson. Good afternoon, UK.
Good morning, USA! And I want to talk about an own goal of huge proportions and of great benefit to the farming industry worldwide today.
Okay.
That's a good start, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I'm going to
But
read this out to you because this was a headline on the news last night.
wait. Don't you want to ask me something first?
How are you feeling?
Oh, I feel great. You remember Monday I told you I had a lamb to butcher? Well, I just want to let you know we have a success story.
There he is.
Yeah.
There he is.
You know,
And one
my
side's obviously heavier than the other side of the lamb. That's
oh
interesting, isn't
no,
it?
it's just how the gamble is hanging from the tractor loader. But I live with my 82. I don't live with him, but 11 miles away, my 82-year-old father-in-law, which if that's incorrect by a year, I'll be corrected soon. Eldon Keebers, who is the master, has been doing this since he's 10 years old. So we had a good quick time butchering that lamb yesterday. So we'll have lamb when you come to visit this winter.
Well, yeah. What? Shall I start walking now?
Get a raft in the middle.
Actually, I'm wearing my Kentucky.
I see
my Kentucky badge, and it's just trying to remind me of what a great time I have in the United States of America.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you were going to read me something.
Hear me? Oh, here we go. It's just stopped again. I'm going to have to go and come back again. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Nod. I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Oh, my goodness. Well, while you are doing that, I happen to have something else that's a burr under my saddle. And again, Kelly shared this with me this morning. But I continue to see a large number of companies, particularly in the cereal business, cereal and water, and a little bit in the yogurt. You can see those companies that I won't name, that I also won't support any longer, because I am tired. I'm really tired, Andrew, of these food companies who are marketing that they are going to help the farmer. They're going to contribute $1 million to help the farmer with sustainability and regenerative agriculture. Let me just remind you that without the assistance of these food companies from 1900 to 2021, we went from 10 acres of land to feed one person for a year to less than a third of an acre to feed one person for a year. We didn't do that because somebody was throwing us a little pittance idea or using the farmer as a prostitute to market their products. You know, they talk about we're going to help with $1 million. Do you know how many acres of wheat we plant in the United States, just as an example, to produce cereals and different grain products?
I wish I did know. I'd love to give you the exact figure, but go on.
Last year we're harvesting 36.7 million acres, and some company talking about we're donating $50,000 to help the farmer. You need to be held accountable and stop supporting these companies. All right. Now, you got anything else you want to take?
Because you're talking the same language as me today.
Oh, really? I thought I was talking broken English.
No. Your English is improving since you've been on this show with me. I've noticed the Queen's English is coming out of you.
Don't break your arm patting your back.
So anyway, headlines on the news last night, and I thought, I can't believe what I'm seeing, because this is a huge own goal. An own goal in soccer is when the team that's actually the defense actually scores in their own net, and this is one of huge proportions. British supermarket cheese linked to catastrophic deforestation in Brazil. Okay?
Yeah.
So it then lists all of the products very similar to the ones that you've just described. Okay? Oh, that's interesting.
That's great news, Ben. Thanks for sharing.
Well done, Ben. So anyway, this deforestation. So they go on to explain that one of the largest cooperatives in the UK that's been telling the supermarkets that all of its soya is traceable back to the farm, and it's all this and it's all that. Turns out that 2/3 of it isn't traceable soya, and it's actually soya so-called from the terrible, terrible Brazilians who are engaged in deforestation and destroying the planet. Well, as you know, Trent, and I know, this is a lovely debate that we're having here about soya, because soya happens to be the alternative to a lot of these green liberal loonies in terms of future protein production. So all of a sudden, somebody's going, hang on a minute, whoa. What about soya milk? What about all the soya oil? What about soya this, soya that? And then, last night on the news, BBC, well, bullshit baffles brains. That's all I can say, because they didn't know what to say. Somebody turned on them and they went, we've got a problem. And my God, have they got a problem? Because as far as I can see, we as dairy farmers, meat farmers, we're actually on the right side of this argument. And the minute that this becomes an issue, you can kiss your backside to your vegans. That's for sure.
You know, the only thing I want to add to that is that I have to be honest, because I went down that path of illustrating the challenges with soy as a meat alternative. But the vegans and that crowd that's invested in plant-based proteins, they are a step ahead of everybody. And that's why yellow peas is the main legume that they use in their plant proteins. Just I learned that the hard way.
How many yellow pea risottos have you seen? Because I don't.
Yellow pea slime. No, it's never going to be a factor in the marketplace. It's all media hype, because the people who have invested on the media companies, and I got nothing against yellow peas. I got nothing against people who want to choose plant proteins, but don't do it by demonizing the cow. Do it by saying, here's what we have to offer. Because the cow, the chicken, the pig, and the lamb, they all offer a tremendous amount in improving the health of the planet while they improve the health of the human being. And you get an extreme dense amount of nutrients, a whole profile of nutrients from animal proteins, when you only get a specific few from plant proteins. So look at the big picture.
And you can't grow soya on the top of the hills in the Lake District in the UK. But you can have lambs, you can have beef, and you can produce cheese and dairy. It's about the only thing you can produce, though. Because I think this is a fundamental moment in time where all of a sudden people are actually going, this all doesn't add up. None of this adds up. And it's when the media starts scoring own goals that I take great delight.
Frank Reich has confused yellow pea, the liquid for yellow peas, from a field. But, you know, he lives in Missouri. You have to show him the difference.
Well,
and cable, yes, I am aware of Diane Rogers. She does great work.
As a result of this story, Trent, listen to this. The head of Two Sisters, that's why I'm wearing this Kentucky, because it used to be Kentucky Fried Chicken. Now it's KFC. Apparently, Americans want things very simple. That's fair enough by me. But I prefer to call it finger-licking good Kentucky Fried Chicken. I can remember that. I'm 57. I can still remember what it really stood for. Now, so the head of Two Sisters, who...
By the way, before you go to Two Sisters, you just illustrated the challenge with all those food companies that we talk about all of the time, because Kentucky Fried Chicken was Kentucky Fried Chicken when it was owned by a whack job riding around the country in a white suit frying chicken for people. And if you think Colonel Sanders was anything but a whack job, you don't really know who he was. But he was a whack job that was passionate about getting good chicken to people. And then Yum Brands Incorporated buys KFC, or buys Kentucky Fried Chicken, and they don't think people can understand Kentucky Fried Chicken, so they rename it KFC. It happened when it was absorbed by a global conglomerate.
1974. I remember Governor Brown telling me himself.
John Y. Brown. Yes, I know. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, going on. So the head of Two Sisters, who you and I have also met, the previous head of Two Sisters, which is the biggest poultry company in the UK. because he happens to go to the conference that you and I met at in Dublin and also in Kentucky, I may say. And they came out yesterday and said, oh, well, this is a bit of a problem story here, because if we're not allowed to use those ingredients in the chicken that everybody wants for Christmas and I know in Thanksgiving in the US, but we have similar festivals as well, then your £3 or what you would describe as your $4.50, $5 chicken is now going to be a $9 chicken. Well, that's gone down like a lead balloon with the public, because a 53% increase in chicken prices is the last thing when we're getting huge increases in steel, in gas prices,
fertilizer,
£500 a metric ton from £300 only 12 months ago. We have stagflation, and I don't need to be an economist to tell you that. It's there, it's obvious, and yet our ports can't bring in the goods. It's a complete breakdown in everything you can possibly imagine with regards to supply of ingredients for the whole world. So the next thing I had to tell you is this. Janet Yellen, whoever she is, I think she's an important US liberal senator. Sorry, Elizabeth Warren, not Janet Yellen. Janet Yellen's head of the Fed. But today,
Elizabeth Warren is only important in her own mind. Go ahead. She's not part Indian, by the way.
You know, when you start kicking your own people, that's when I start to take notice, because she's actually put a dagger in the very company that is Beijing Biden's, if you like, premium pal, Mr. Jeff Bezos, because she has today decided to call for the breaking up of Amazon, which I'm all for, and I'm sure you are, because it's been found out that they've been copying their suppliers' products and making fake equivalents in India. That's nice, isn't it?
You know, that there's another level to this. I saw another credible report that some of the smaller chains which still are big, and I'll just use Target as an example because I don't know that it's a great company, but it's better than what the alternatives are. They are talking about filing litigation against Amazon because apparently they are buying massive amounts of their products and then reselling them at Amazon.com. This company has no morals, no scruples. And, you know, the funny thing is, I don't know that I'm really in favor of government breaking them up. I just want people to stop shopping there. I want people to take matters in their own hands and stop patronizing the very companies who don't share your principles. That's a better approach.
Somebody's just said in the talk there, which sort of leveling me at this and saying, Andrew's a millionaire. Well, if I am, could you tell me where my money is? Because I don't know. Somebody could help me with that. That would be useful if you could tell me where it is. But carry on, Trent. Carry on. I was listening to you.
Wait a minute. You're a millionaire?
Apparently so. Somebody just said Andrew must be a millionaire. And I'm like, hey.
Why don't you pay to be on here?
I give nothing and I take nothing, as you know.
You give a lot, Andrew. We couldn't do this without you because of your constant giving of information. 6 hours ahead of us, by the way.
Not asking you enough to interject. So, you know, you must have a lot to say about Amazonians, as Paul Henderson puts them. How are we going to stop people from buying from this disgusting, massive conglomerate? How are we going to do it?
I really don't know, because I've been preaching from that pulpit for a long time. And you drive past Walmart, the parking lot's always full. You see people, I see more Amazon Prime trucks on the highway than any other company, including Walmart. And so I don't know what the answer is. We just slowly have to wake people up and get them to stop patronizing them. Oh, by the way,
I'll tell you a little story, a true story about some of your relatives. I will admit that, well, you've told me that your relatives. About 10 years ago, I took a load of UK farmers to the Great Lakes Dairy Conference in Michigan. And we stayed in a hotel in a place called Frankenmuth.
That prides themselves in fried chicken.
It does. And actually, I met the lady that with her specific German recipe. It was more of a schnitzel than a fried chicken, but it was beautiful. And I was one of the guest speakers at this particular event in this amazing hotel, which had an 18-hole indoor mini golf. It was fabulous hotel, fabulous entertainment, brilliant place. Even the beer was good because it was German, and which is unusual in the USA because it's normally. But anyway, so we were having this fantastic time, and the mayor, who was also the owner of the hotel, told me a little story about Walmart. And she said, Walmart came into our lovely village here, which is Christmas 24/7, 365 days of the year. And they offered $3.5 million.
364 days a year. The Christmas are closed.
Okay. Sorry. Well, did you try and go on Christmas Day?
Yes, I did.
How do you know it's closed?
Anyway? I've been to Frankenmuth a lot. Go ahead.
So she said, so they offered 3.5, and I might be inaccurate with the exact value, but it was a lot of money because I remember thinking, that's a lot of money to open they just wanted to give the locals $3.5 million to open a Walmart, and if they could find a couple of acres of land, could they have a couple of acres of land to open a Walmart in Frankenmuth? And of course, they all met in a room and said, look, we don't really want this monstrosity in our neighborhood. But this mayor persuaded them and said, look, think about this. $3.5 million, we can do a lot with $3.5 million for 2 acres of land. Why don't we let them build it, but make sure that everybody vows that nobody ever shops at it? Now,
that's brilliant. If you can make it happen.
That's what actually happened.
Yeah.
Nobody shopped there except people from out of town. But that wasn't enough to keep it going. And within 6 months, I believe it was shut. Perfect.
Andrew, we let this happen. And it comes back to the same story that I've been banging home in all of 2021. It comes back to local control. Do you know how many times local cities, municipalities, usually it's not the county, it's usually a city that will forgo some tax base to give them a tax break so they don't have to pay taxes for the next 5 years. So you come in and you build this economic engine for our community. And they will do that every single time for a Walmart that wants to come into a community. But do they do anything to assist or prevent hurdles from the small mom and pop store that have been there forever? No, they just kick them to the curb like a used sack that they don't need anymore. That's exactly what's got to change. Support the people who are doing business and stop worrying about attracting those global conglomerates that don't care about your people.
When I go to Nebraska, I don't want Coors Light. I want that beer of that guy that we interviewed probably 12 months ago now.
Cody Schmick.
Yeah. And I remember the prairie and the story behind all these different beers.
Kincaid Brewing. By the way, we're going to have a little wedding gathering this weekend in Loop City. We're going to have Kincaid Brewing beer if you want to come by. Yeah.
Well, if I could, if I start walking now, who knows, I might make it next year. But anyway, so at the end of the day,
this is a 1-year deal.
But at the end of the day, that's the point I'm trying to make. If I come to Nebraska, I want to try some of your pork belly. I want to try all the local stuff I can possibly try, because that's why people used to travel, to try the products, the cultures, to experience the smells of all the different things that are created all over the world by different people. And I think that is what we want to get back to, because I don't want to buy KFC in my local village in England. I don't.
Regaining control for the farmer. For Andrew Henderson, Strant Loose, across the pond. We'll see you tomorrow.